What's up? What's up, bitches? Welcome back to another episode of Positively Uncensored, this time in the flesh. I'm trying something different, and I want this to feel like we are on FaceTime together, just talking about the Selling Sunset Season 7 reunion. I'm never on camera, so give me a break if I do bad. Give me a break if I look tired. I am. It's morning. There's been so much reality television to catch up on, and it's Scorpio season. It's a dark season. I got burned yesterday. Things are just happening to take you aback a little bit. So if you can relate to that, let me know. Without further ado, let's get into Selling Sunset Season 7. I'm going to take these out because I guess I don't need them. The reunion was actually good. I actually enjoyed watching this reunion. And I don't know that the host made that big of a difference for me. I did like seeing Tan. He's the one of the guys from Queer Eye. I think his niche is like fashion from what I remember from the show. I didn't necessarily enjoy it more because of him, because at the end of the day, I recognize that not every question got asked and some stuff we don't care about got focused on. For example, Jason's baby powdering his balls. I could have gone my entire life without knowing that, but because I have to know about it, you do too. Second of all, we didn't really need to ask Chrishell that question about her sex life. I know I'm jumping around a lot, but that just felt unnecessary. I know that that question was likely written for him. However, as he said at the end, it's like comparing apples to oranges. It's completely different. So let's start from the beginning. I took notes throughout the whole thing. Already addressed that Jason baby powdered his balls. We found out that Chrishell has renewed her vows with her partner G Flip, and they had a wedding. It was very private, I guess a long time ago. And then this was more inclusive of family and friends. So I'm happy for them. I love seeing Chrishell come into this era of just being selflessly herself. If she hates someone, she hates them. If she doesn't want to be friends with you, she doesn't. If you talk about her partner, bye. I'm really enjoying this side of Chrishell. I said this on Twitter, but she's basically Christine, but better. And here's why. Christine was kind of playing the villain role, but for no reason. I feel like Chrishell earned the right to speak up and as directly to people as she has been. If you remember since season 1, I went back and watched. When she's first brought to the office, it's like, oh, there's this new girl coming, Chrishell, and she can sit on the floor until she proves herself. Just, they weren't very nice to her. And that's just episode 1. I remember her being the underdog. So I'm appreciative of this side. Chrishell basically explains herself for you've had your, what did she say? Rearranging her face comment that she made to Nicole. And she's like, I said that because it felt like her argument with me was because she wanted a moment on television. First of all, I agree with Chrishell, but echoing that, what she said is valid. It's not really a mean girl comment. It was clear that she prepared for the show, as all of them do. No shade. All of them got, some work done, boobs, face, filler, teeth, hair, whatever it may be. So she intended to have some screen time. I don't think Chrishell's wrong for pointing that out. And she's like, you prepped for the show, you got ready for your moment, and there wasn't very many moments to be had. So yours was this beef with me. And Nicole, claims that she never intentionally wanted to start a fight with Chrishell. She later takes a polygraph test, and this proves that, whatever. She's delusional enough that maybe she believes that, but I don't. I don't believe that. So she says that she tried to quell the fight multiple times. And then we see Chrishell have her candy burst moment. She's like, the lies, the lies. I loved that. Another moment that I loved. But she's like, you didn't try to quell the fight. If anything, you just kept stoking it. And how was she stoking it? By liking passive aggressive comments about Chrishell on social media. And they had the receipts too. So they showed a screenshot of somebody commenting on a picture of Nicole saying, love you, such a fan. Why is this lesbian coming back on TV, in reference to Chrishell? And she liked the comment and said thank you. So I agree with Chelsea and everybody else on stage who said that by liking that comment and not addressing that person and correcting them, it does look like you are co-signing that. Also, I may be misinformed, so I will educate myself after this episode, but I don't think that that's the correct term for Chrishell. The person that Chrishell is married to is non-binary, using the pronouns they, them. In my understanding, the term lesbian is reserved for someone who is dating someone who identifies as a woman, who identifies with the pronouns she, her. So first of all, you're wrong. And second of all, you just sound so bitter and rude. But Nicole asks Tan, if why it's homophobic to use the term lesbian. And unfortunately, that was not brought up. And again, I might be misinformed. I'm going to educate myself to make sure that I'm not incorrect in saying this. But I think that should have been addressed. I think it should have been said that he does not speak for the entire queer community. So while he can answer his opinion and speak in I statements, she should go home, educate herself, research that, and really understand why what she did is hurtful. If I was the host, that's what I would say. Granted, Netflix would probably not let me say that. If you would let me say that, Netflix, freaking hire me. You guys need me. Ugh. Live action spill. Clean up aisle 1. All right. So Chrishell's like, I do hate you and you hate me. Like, own it. And to that, I say completely fair, because you co-signed a homophobic statement. You had malintent for her all season. Just wear the fact that you hate her. But Chrishell was a big enough person. In my mind, this represents growth. It's not duality or two-faced, or she doesn't stand in it or double down. She said, fine, I'll put my swords down, because it's like, why beat a dead horse? Why cry over spilled milk? I don't like you. I have to work with you. So I guess whatever, to being cordial, but I still don't like you, but I won't come at you anymore or engage when you come at her, because I think that this will happen again with Nicole. So they ramble on about fashion, and everybody says, as they make more money, their fashion gets better. Side eye. Does it really? I don't know. A few people stand out to me. Their fashion's great. A couple other people, you have some work to go. You have some work to go. Bri defends herself and her just like outwardness of being upset this season, because she's like, I've had enough of the baby mama comments. I've had enough of people chiming in on my personal life. I've had enough of people forming an opinion about my decision. And so, yes. Oh, that's my laundry. I'll be back. Okay. Yes. Bri's like, I've had enough of the public commentary. So when it's happening at my office, I'm defensive. I'm over it. I lashed out this season. And frankly, I stand behind it. It's not a way that I would typically present myself, but I'm tired of it. And as I just mentioned, I actually do understand that. It's unfortunate that we feel like once people are famous, we should have access to their lives. or we should be able to weigh in on their lives. Well, yes, that's true. The older I get, the more it's like, just focus on your own life. Here I am having a podcast about everybody else's. But my thing is, I don't really have opinions on people's life or the decisions they make. I'm talking about on screen, the things that I'm seeing. As far as people's personal choices, make them. Um, I'm not sitting around hoping to judge Hollywood the way that the TMZ magazines used to be doing. I did not like, however, that Brie was a hypocrite. It's like, I understand that's where I gave you a point. Like, yep, understand that you're making boundaries. You're setting boundaries and saying, we're done talking about this. I'm done with your opinion. Don't bring in some girl who I knew 10 years ago and barely at that to try to prove my character assessment that you have of me. That I'm on board with. But the comment, like, I won't have a girl whose vagina is all over the internet judging me. First of all, don't slut shame someone. Second of all, it's giving hypocrite because you're upset at people's opinion on your life choices being used as a reason to talk about your character and as a reflection of your character to insinuate whatever the harsh things people said about Brie were, whether she was an unfit mother. They said that about Britney Spears all the time, whether they said, that she was responsible for having a family that's not completely a solid unit because she knows him. All of that felt unnecessary to her and felt like low blows. So to turn around and say to the girl who was judging her, I'm going to judge you off of your personal life and your personal decisions as well. And in such a negative way, you can still be an honest person and have an OnlyFans. You can still be a good person and be a sex worker. Trying to use someone's hobby, outlet for money, whatever it may be, as a negative statement about their character, you lose me there. That's where you lose me. But moving on to Chelsea, and her relationship with Cassandra. I said it since day one. I stand by this. She was excited to have someone there that saw Brie the way that she saw Brie. It's the same way that Nicole was excited to have Mary Lou show up and be around because she thought that Chrishell was fake and she thought that she was unkind. That was Mary Lou's whole storyline. Getting meddling with Jason's office life and friendships. That was her whole storyline. So, Chelsea did like Cassandra, bring her around, whether Cassandra was a producer plant, whether she messaged Chelsea, who knows how it happened. It's reality television. They probably planted Cassandra and had Chelsea be the person whose storyline articulated Cassandra's argument because she was the only one who had outward beef with Brie. Because as Chelsea already said, I feel like the mouthpiece. Everybody had an opinion about Brie's life until I said that opinion that we've all talked about. And then it was back away. Hey, my hands are clean. You said that opinion. Now you look bad. So, Mary Lou and Jason. So Mary Lou comes out, as I just mentioned. Nicole's elated because the enemy of your enemy is a friend. That's how they're conducting themselves. So we find out that they've already broken up. And in a polygraph test later, they asked Jason if Mary Lou was a plot for the story. It's giving Kenya Moore. Yeah, yes, she was. She was for your storyline, a young, attractive, beautiful model that you had no intentions of being with. That's my opinion. I stand by that. That's how it read to me. But anyways, they've already broken up. I truly don't say this in a mean way because Mary Lou can have all of her own business ventures. I'm sure she's an interesting person on social media, but why bring her to this reunion? She added nothing. We found out nothing new. I can't imagine the amount of money it took to fly her there from Paris when they could have flown me out. to provide meaningful commentary, of course. It just doesn't make sense. She was out there for such a small minute, unless it was to show these enemy of enemy relationships with Chelsea and Cassandra, Nicole, and what's her face, Mary Lou. I just don't get why bring her. It felt stupid to me. So they do a polygraph section of the reunion, which I guess was kind of interesting if I believed the test was valid, number one. And number two, if everyone truly had to do the test. I love Chelsea. I'm going to stand by her. However, why did you not have to do the test? Everybody should have had to gone up there. That's my opinion. So the polygraph test reveals that Michael B. Jordan isn't good in bed. Not really shocking, to be honest with you. However, I wonder if a Twitter feud will ensue. I wonder if he will fire back with a shady comment, just ignore it altogether. We will see. We will see what comes of that. Again, they used Chrishell being up there to ask if G Flip or Jason was better in bed. Another question that just doesn't fully grasp Chrishell's sexuality. I also want to point out, this annoys me how many times they alluded to the fact that Emma and Chrishell have a relationship that's more than friends. In the same way I felt about Real Housewives of New York, I felt it's inappropriate for Brynn to queer bait the one woman who identifies as liking women and pursuing relationships with women to act like you're interested in her when you're not. You're completely straight. You have no interest in women. They ask Emma over and over again, implying that Chrishell and her, whether it was the empanada comment and Emma had to specify, Chrishell had to specify that she's eaten Emma's empanadas from the freezer, but she's not eaten her empanada down there. Having to specify that is outrageous. Having to specify the nature of their relationship and that they're just best friends, nothing more there. It's like nobody else is being asked these questions. It's just the one woman who identifies as queer in the group. And it does bother me to treat someone like they're incapable of friendships and like every person they're around, oh, she's queer, so every woman she's around she's interested in, or overtly sexual. That annoys me. So anyways, inappropriate question. They don't understand Chrishell's sexuality. They try to make something out of Emma and her friendship that I don't think any of us were even saying online, and it's not their business. Jason does the test, and we discover what we've already known, which is that he's still in love with Chrishell. It's obvious. She's moved on. She's thriving. She's happy. She's not even really into men. And here he is. She'll always be the one that got away because he did her dirty. Like, let's call it what it is. And even watching season 1 back, Jason was creepy towards Chrishell since the beginning. Since the very beginning, he was so excited to bring Chrishell to the office. So Jason's asked if he's hooked up with anybody else on the stage. Everybody's like, no, no, no. And then it goes quiet on Amanda's end. So I'm already like, Amanda and him hooked up. I haven't rewatched the episode. What I remember Amanda admitting is that they've shared a kiss. Some people are in my comments saying that, she clarifies and says that they did sleep together. I don't remember this, truly. I will go back and watch. I'll post an update in my next episode or something, or on my TikTok. But I'm not surprised. I'm really, really not surprised. I would like to know the total number of employees that Jason slept with. They clearly don't have an HR, and it astounds me. It astounds me. So, and then Amanda's like, yes, I've had a sexy thought about Jason before. I'm sorry. The guy who just said he powdered his balls until a couple of years ago. Why? Maybe Jason has really big balls. Um, all of a sudden, it's like, what are you doing here, Ariana? The reunion switches gears and the cast of Selling OC comes out. I'm not mad at the fact that we got all of this tea that we didn't ask to see. However, Bravo would never do this. Having a reunion that we've been anticipating for one show with so much to cover, and then bringing in another franchise in the middle of it and like steering the reunion in a completely different conversation and then trying to get back into those things earlier is wild. It really made no sense to me. And just to ask, like, where is Selling Tampa? Is that show done with? Was there a formal announcement that I missed? Because it seems like Selling OC and Selling Sunset are the official franchises that they've decided on. And I don't even feel like they gave Selling Tampa long enough to see how that show would do. But the cast comes out, we get a preview of next season for Selling OC. What it looks like to me is more drama is in the office. Alex, the agent who's young, attractive, he's looked like an F-boy to me since season 1. Yes, it's a prejudgment, but it's just how I felt about him. It looks like Sean is suggesting that like something about that would affect his family. And to me, my thought immediately goes to an infidelity. He's cheated on his wife or something, just given what we just saw happen with Tyler. And wouldn't it be crazy if it was with someone at the office? That would be insane. Like Polly or Hall again, or the new girl who he was definitely eyeing. That would be crazy. But so Sean's in on the tea as he always is, right place, right time, or wrong place, wrong time, however you interpret being involved in the chaos. But the other thing we find out through this preview is, Tyler has left the O group. It seems like he left without telling Alex. Like he told her before, I'm leaving. She didn't really believe him. She's like, okay, then do it. And then eventually he just left, cuts contact from her, blocks her on Instagram, blocks her through text, and yet he's keeping in contact with other coworkers from the office. Brandi's like, me and Tyler still keep in contact. We text. Things for us ended on a good note. And Alex Hall comes out and she's like, bullshit. I call bullshit on that. If you're implying that you guys are friends, like, I doubt it. And it's like, you just said 30 seconds ago that you're excommunicated from him as if he's the Mormon church and you did something wrong, sin, and you think that you know who his friendships are. He clearly distanced himself from you for a reason, whether it's to get to a divorce settlement with his ex-wife, Brittany Snow, to clean up the image because his family also has a business. His dad does, I remember. Or whether it's just because Hall caused a lot of drama and chaos in Tyler's life. He was a surfer. Like, to be fair, I didn't really expect this storyline from him. I saw it from Alex, but I didn't necessarily expect it from him. But she thinks that she's the spokesperson for Tyler, and she's like, no, I don't believe that you guys are actually friends. And she gets loud with Brandi. She's so microaggressive. It's crazy. And I don't believe that she doesn't know she's doing it. She intentionally gets the most annoyed with Brandi. She had such a problem that Brandi still texts Tyler, even though it sounded as if everyone from the office still has contact with him and isn't in this blocked state that she is, at least. But she had the most problem with Brandi. She gets loud. It seems like from the previews, Brandi removed herself from a lot of the drama, as her sister told her at lunch one day, don't even comment on these people's business anymore. And she said, fuck it, I won't, because she was barely in the previews. However, the way that Alex treated her on stage in the small 10 minutes that we saw, I would think that she's going to be more of a focal point than that. And Alex should be fired. I'm sorry. Like, okay, so the bosses, have office relationships, and that's wrong, but that happens everywhere. But like Alex Hall hooking up with someone at the office parties, I don't know. And actually, no. Brett and Jason, stop. It's fucking creepy. You are in a position of power over these people. The thought never occurs to you that there's some sort of pressure to get into the agency by having intimacy with you or by stoking your ego. Let's be real here. What else happened? That's pretty much the end of my notes. I'm trying to remember. To be honest, that's pretty much it. Chelsea doesn't do the polygraph test. We see a private conversation between Chelsea and Bree, and she's like, "This is being blown out of proportion. I feel like the things I've said are being used against me." And Bree's like, "That's fair, but nobody can make you say the things that you've said." And aside from that, the tea is really what I've already said. Not that crazy much happened. If I think of anything else, I will post about it. I will update you all. But I think this pretty much encompasses the Selling Sunset season 7 reunion, especially because it was hijacked, like I said, by the Selling OC cast. It was hard to transition back into the reunion. And I don't remember that anything major happened. So, as you can see, it's been a busy morning for me. um, that's all that I can share about Selling Sunset Reunion. That's all I can think of that's happened. This was a pretty short recap because number one, I talk fast, and number two, again, kind of the wrong questions were asked. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments. If you're new here, welcome. I love you. This is my first time on camera completely by myself. So let me know what you guys think of this like in-person episode. Let me know if you guys would like to see more of them with video. Have a great week. Protect yourself during this Scorpio season. Keep your energy positive. Remember that when things get heavy, if you believe in God, I do. My faith's been keeping me strong lately. Put things onto God. We're not meant to carry all of this heaviness. Cast your problems out. Rest assured that the work is being done that you can't see. And that's been helping me a lot lately. So I'll probably be sharing a little bit more about my journey as I'm getting back into faith on the next coming episodes. Not too much that I'm preaching at anybody, though. I love all of you. I hope you have a great rest of your week.